explain or share with us, all of us share together, get a well-informed mind on the silent epidemics that are actually affecting the whole world right now. There are very many. On Saturday, just this last Saturday, Prof. Forenbeat spoke on heart and prostate health. The week before that, I think we talked about the resting energy expenditure and obesity and so on. In fact, every week we have a presentation like this. So every Wednesday, we want you to always join us. Today's topic is on the silent epidemic of the moment, but we are going to narrow down on diabetes. My name is pharmacist Justina Ekperege. I'm a retired pharmacist, but I'm not tired, as you can see. But I want us to focus on diabetes because of the issues we are seeing all over the world concerning this diabetes or blood sugar or insulin resistance, obesity. There's so many issues. So narrowing down all to these topics, I want you to just look through them. The introduction, epidemiology, the types of diabetes we see around, risk factors for diabetes, common symptoms of diabetes. I'm going to be talking to why, let me call it, different types of people. So I'm going to narrow it down to where even the common man can understand what is going on with his or her body or the family, so it doesn't even pass it on. For those of us who are in the medical profession, we know epigenetics have been able to prove to us that we can actually make lifestyle modifications that will affect our genetic predisposition and affect our children and our children's children. So we may not pass on those genetic, diseases that we already have to our children. So this training is very, very important. We want to talk about management of diabetes, complications of diabetes, prevention, and then, of course, supplements to prevent, manage, and reverse diabetes as the case may be, depending on the ones who can. And, of course, go to summary. Think of what is happening. We just chose this topic randomly, but tomorrow is World Diabetes Day. Is that not amazing? It means you'll be able to celebrate people tomorrow by giving them worthy information. Don't keep them, share it around. Make sure everybody around you, people you can reach, not only friends or family, even those who are supposed to be your enemy or they hate you, reach out to them because you want the good for them. Tomorrow is World Diabetes Day, which means we have a lot of things to do tomorrow. We have to reach out to people. Diabetes, of course, we know is a very serious chronic disease. When you say something is chronic, it means it's gradual. In fact, some people call it suicide by installment. With our fork and knife, everything you do daily is doing something inside the body that you don't even know is happening. So it's chronic, it's gradual, it's subtle. You don't know that it is happening. It's degenerative. It is chronically happening. And it occurs when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin, or it's not even producing at all when you have type 1 diabetes, or it produces too much insulin because the body or the cells of the body are no longer sensitive to the insulin. We are going to understand how this happens because the person has so much insulin everywhere. It's even making the pancreas to produce more insulin, yet the person has so much blood sugar. So when you have excess blood sugar, we're going to talk about how to know that you have excess blood sugar. Before it even gets to the signs and symptoms, why we are doing this training is because we don't even want you to get to the signs and symptoms, because before you start having organ damage, you start affecting the critical function that determines your health, your well-being, your energy, your vitality, even your resting energy expenditure on a daily basis is going down. Before it gets to that stage, you should be able to know what to do. You should be able to know what is happening, because this thing is no longer limited to age. It's not even about age, but this hormone, insulin, that helps to transport glucose or what I might call the simple sugar from the blood into the cell, into where you will use the energy giving food to produce energy, the ATP that will keep you alive. That's where the problem is. When this insulin is either not there or not enough, or it is there, the body is not able to access it. It is characterized by elevated blood sugar or blood glucose levels, which we'll talk about. You know how to measure it, you know how to get to it. This can lead to serious damage to different vital organs of the body, like the heart, blood vessels, the kidney, the nerves, even sudden blindness, sometimes ulcers that refuse to heal and they will have to amputate the person, and so many challenges. So we have to know what diabetes really is, what is happening to the body, what can you do either to manage it or reverse it or even prevent it from happening at all. So the most common type of diabetes, which is where I'm actually going to concentrate on, is type 2 diabetes, the one that happens after you have grown up. They call it maturity onset diabetes. The diabetes that happens at birth, actually that one is kind of something genetically inherited, that you might not be able to do anything. The person has to be on insulin for his or her life, but there are lifestyle modifications that also help the person live healthier and be able to live well, but the person will have to be on insulin. That's actually type 1 diabetes. From childhood, the person develops it. But the ones that happen after the person has grown up, the type 2 diabetes, is chronically acquired. It's not, though you can be genetically predisposed, but even at that, like I mentioned from the beginning, epigenetics has been able to prove to us that even if you are genetically predisposed to any disease, you can prevent it from happening to you and from ever happening to generations after you. So type 1 diabetes is known as the juvenile diabetes, like I mentioned, and it's insulin dependent, which means the person will have to take insulin for the rest of his or her life. It's a chronic condition in which the pancreas produces little or no insulin at all. It cannot produce insulin by itself, so you have to keep injecting the insulin. So for people living with diabetes, access to affordable treatment or including insulin is critical to their survival. So we will have to understand that it is becoming too expensive to even manage diabetes. So what's the epidemiology? You can see the age from the graph. You can see the prevalence and how male or female, how depending on the age group between 35 to 65, that is very high. You can see what is going on and how the males who are actually getting more of this diabetes. You see that between that age of 35 to 65, though we have seen a lot in younger generation between the ages of 15 to 34 in recent times, but the female or the female group, you see that when they are much older, that's when you have a lot of female having it. So in reality, you have the millions of people that are having diabetes, but more than half of these people, these are the ones that will be diagnosed, the ones that are on record, the ones that will know. But we have more than double of these that don't even know that they have diabetes, especially the group that we call the pre-diabetes. They don't go for tests. They just have a little sign once in a while and they think it's normal, because when they just drink water, I'll be drinking so much water. That's why it's like that. Most people don't even know that they have it. And we know that most people in lower or middle income class, investigation have revealed that these are the people that actually acquire this diabetes more. They die faster and they die earlier. More than 1.5 million deaths directly attributed to diabetes. These are the ones that are even diagnosed. We are not talking of the ones that are not diagnosed, the ones that are not known. We are not talking of how many people have been amputated, people that have sudden blindness, sudden kidney failure, sudden liver problems. Even when the types we are going to explain today will tell you why, even the fatty liver, obesity, all those things we are talking about, you see that if you handle the root cause of the problem from what we are going to share today, you will save a lot of life. A lot, I'm telling you, because in Nigeria alone, 3.6 million people are living with diabetes. These are the ones that we think, okay, we have detected. More than 1.9 million not detected at all. So when you have high level of insulin, the one we call hyperinsulinemia, I want you to understand this. This person is producing enough insulin, the pancreas is healthy, but the person's blood sugar level is also very high. What is happening here is actually happening to more than 80% of people. They don't even know that anything is happening. They are in the group we call pre-diabetes, because most of them have insulin level, and the body is no longer sensitive to the insulin. We call it insulin resistance. And because of that, the body thinks that, oh, I don't have enough insulin, so it will make the pancreas, send message to the pancreas to produce more insulin. So the insulin level becomes higher and higher and higher, but the blood sugar is also getting higher, higher and higher. And these are people that are in the real risk factor of risk. They are at risk so much because the insulin that is being produced is actually going to cause more harm, because a lot of people that don't even know that insulin is going higher, the pancreas is producing so much insulin, and the body cannot transport glucose from the blood into the cell, because the normal work of insulin is to transport the energy giving food. Because even if you eat fructose, glucose, sucrose, or you eat complex carbohydrates like even your oats or eba, or just mention them, all the energy giving food, they will eventually break down to the simple sugar that insulin should transport into the cell. Remember, I mentioned it in my other training that fat cells do not contain mitochondria, the energy, or what you might call the engine of the cell to produce energy from the energy giving food. But muscle cells, whether it's smooth muscle or skeletal muscle cells are the cells that contain this mitochondria, the engine house that breaks down or that makes this energy giving food to give you the ATP or energy. And most important part of this energy is called the resting energy expenditure on a daily basis. That is, let's give example, like when you are sleeping, your brain is working, your heart is working, your digestive, your different vital organs or vital functions in the body are being carried out, and they need energy. Even when you eat, your body will first use energy to break down the food before it gives you energy. That's how important this insulin is. But if the insulin is present and it cannot transport the glucose into the cells, into the mitochondria for it to use it to give you energy, is actually being wasted. And so that is where you see type 2 diabetes causing cardiovascular diseases, hyperinsulinemia, which can contribute to hyperlipidemia. This is where I want us to understand. With this hyperinsulin in the body, the liver will be overworking to convert it into fat cells. So that's why you see a lot of people at this stage have, you know, obesity, they have fatty liver, they have, you know, fatty heart, they have lipids problem. When you go for lipid profile and all the rest is usually very high. That's why when we go down later, you see the kind of test you are going to do. You see, as doing your lipid profile is also very important to let you know that, oh, this insulin is not actually transporting the glucose into the cell, so it's not being burnt off. So the liver is having a hard time trying to store them into fat cells. You see, a lot of people like that cannot manage their obesity, they cannot manage their weight, they cannot bring their body mass index to normal, even if they are, you know, mesomers that are supposed to be able to, you know, burn off when they want to, they do exercise so much. I have to explain this one here, spend time here, that it's not about how much exercise you are doing. The exercise you are doing to help you grow more lean muscle, to help you grow more surface area for that metabolism to take place at optimum level. That's where you now have the heaviest resting energy expenditure on a daily basis. So if you don't do that, you will see hypertension, heart disease, liver disease, hyperlipidemia, increased inflammatory markers, potentially leading to conditions like alcoholic fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Some people think that, oh, it's my hormone. These are, yes, insulin is a hormone, but you need to know what is happening. So many degenerative diseases, because we all know very well that evil cancer cells feeds on sugar. So the more of this you have in the system, the more you are prone to or predisposed to, or you can even find it very difficult to cure or take care of the cancer cells. So it is so bad a disease that every one of us should take note of what is happening. So moreover, this high insulin level that produce this cell proliferation and inhibit or autophagy, which means your body cannot eat off dead cells, because those dead cells are eating the sugar that is present in the blood and try to revive themselves. The same thing you have with cancer cells. Cancer cells feed on sugar that you have in the blood, and when it's overwhelming, they are reviving themselves. So you are not able to, eat them off. The natural process, autophagy, that God has put there for you to be able to digest them off cannot take place. So this can reduce lifespan, can reduce your health span. That's how many number of years you are healthy throughout your lifespan. It can reduce life expectancy. So this can actually underscore the importance of managing insulin level through lifestyle dietary changes. So try and take this area I just stressed now very seriously. Lifestyle modification that will help you manage the hormone insulin to transport glucose into cells for metabolism to take place at optimal level. Now there are 4 different types of diabetes. I already mentioned the first type, which is the juvenile diabetes, because it is from birth, it's hereditary. The person just has to be on insulin. But the other ones we will need to understand or spend more time on is the type 2 diabetes, which is chronically acquired over time. I call it using our fork and spoon to commit suicide by installment. Even if your parents had it, you don't have to manifest the symptoms. You can overcome it, you can prevent it, you can reverse it, you can decide not to have it. Daniel, please, can you let me mute everybody? Daniel, please mute everybody. Thank you. This one is the most common. More than 80% of the world population actually are into this type 2 diabetes. It actually occurs when the person is already grown up, and the diagnosis, though, is happening in the age, from the graph I showed, in the ages of 50 or even less. But this type 2 diabetes is happening because a lot of people have developed this sugar tongue, and it affects children even these days. But you have to just do the correct diagnosis. The diagnosis, because the body is incapable of responding to insulin. These people are now having high level of blood sugar constantly, and they cannot control it. Daniel, please mute everybody. Thank you. And there is so much obesity. People cannot bring their body mass index to normal because a lot. So you see that because the person is working with maybe a bank, or where he sits all day, he comes back, he feels tired, he calls the house help to bring dinner, he eats dinner, he or she watches the whole movie or prays and sleeps up. That is what we call sedentary lifestyle, and it's a very big challenge, not only in Nigeria now, but all over the world. I want people to take note of what is happening to the body. The third one is the one we call gestational. That is during pregnancy. If the person develops diabetes at all, it means that the person is very likely to have type 2 diabetes even after birth. Though most times after the person, after the woman has put to bed, the diabetes will kind of go down. But over time, it means the person is actually very predisposed to diabetes. So if you know any lady that has ever or has reported before that he had gestational diabetes, these are people you can easily quickly work with to make sure they don't even develop it at all. The 4th, which is the one I've explained so much, because you can see what the report is saying. 79 million people are diagnosed with pre-diabetes each year. This one is the one diagnosed. Do you know that more than double this, even more than triple of these, don't even go for test at all? So they are not even diagnosed. They are called pre-diabetes. That is when you go for fasting blood sugar, and it's between 5 to 7.5, 5.5 to 7.5. I will talk about the different measurements later. You will see that that person is having pre-diabetes, but because there are no signs, no symptoms, nothing is disturbing him or her so much, he thinks everything is okay. But that person will not grow or have organ damage or have one challenge that is irreversible before it comes to people goes to the hospital for treatment. That is what we want to prevent. If you actually have pre-diabetes, you might not even know at all. Above average glucose level, I just mentioned to you, which is above 5.5, is pre-diabetes. It's when it's around that 8, 9, 10, especially when it's around that, you know, this is full-blown diabetes. But that time it has already caused so much damage. Some of them may not even be reversible. So long-term damage to the body, including heart, circulatory system, kidney, eyes, major organs of the body, can happen to these people because it's prolonged for a very long time. So start with, it actually starts with people having unhealthy eating habits, living sedentary lifestyle, just doing things that make them, they think it's enjoyment, not knowing that they're actually punishing the body. So what are these things we think it's enjoyment that we want to move away from? I call them risk factors. Obesity. I remember in those days, when you say, hey, sister, you're putting on weight, you say, enjoyment has come. Like my husband used to say during presentation, is when they pay some people salary, that's when they eat maybe one million, they will fry 5 eggs with sardine, with margarine, with bread, maybe Bonvita, milk, and so many things. And then, somebody will eat maybe a chicken. He will eat maybe snail. He will put rice. He will put beans. He will put dodo. Just imagine everything people do, and the person would look and say, oh, evidence of good living. It's not evidence of good living. It's actually evidence of bad living. Then, of course, people who are living the inactive lifestyle, especially in this age of, is it internet, I will call it now, internet of things. Internet of things. You have everything being done for you with remote. You can lock your windows with remote. You can clean your house with remote. You can do everything you want to do. Internet of things is happening, and we are there on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all whatnot. There are so many now. That sedentary lifestyle is actually killing a lot of people, and they think it's enjoyment. For people who are above the age of 40, before now, it was for them. But now we have younger generation, and I think it's because of the age of the internet. That's why younger people are developing this insulin resistance, diabetes so fast, and the number, the figures just rising on a monthly basis. Check the internet. When we finish, if anybody wants any of these researches, any of these areas that will tell you some of all these facts or the things we are talking about, feel free to reach out to me. I will send you some links for you to see the research that is going on all these areas we are talking about. So if you also have parents, relations, brother, or relations that have it, of course, we know it's hereditary. You can be genetically predisposed to it, like I said. But even with that, you don't have to develop it. You can prevent it from ever happening. And I already mentioned, for people who have gestational diabetes, it's very likely that woman will definitely develop diabetes. Also, if you have impaired glucose tolerance, that is people that cannot tolerate glucose. In fact, I would like to talk on this. I met somebody once, and he said, he just tasted something and said, this thing, I don't take glucose. I don't want anything sweet in my food at all. I don't take anything, because he feels that that's how he will prevent diabetes. I said, no, on the contrary, that is not how it's not glucose, it's not sugar that actually cause the diabetes. Sugar or glucose or sweet things that you are not able to tolerate them it's a proof that you have diabetes. What you are supposed to do is to create cells where this glucose can go into, is to create opportunity for insulin to transport the glucose into cells. It's not for you to avoid energy giving food, because all the vital organs of the body, all the critical functions of the body that determines health, vitality, longevity, health span and all, they need energy. In any case, even if you eat only protein, if your body cannot get enough energy, it will start digesting your protein to get energy. And you need more protein, you need more amino acid to build lean muscles. So when you are avoiding energy giving food, the body doesn't have energy, it will start working on your muscles to get energy, and you are losing more lean muscles. Now, who is deceiving who? So it is not for you to avoid sugary food. I'm not saying if you have diabetes, start taking sweet things. No, get me right. Because right now you already have the challenge. But if you take what we are, the lifestyle modification we are going to discuss today, and you grow lean muscles, you have more muscles on a daily basis. As you are growing older, you are growing more lean muscles. You will see that this glucose intolerance will not be it will not be something you will be fighting. Say, I can't eat any sweet thing, I can't eat ripe plantain, I can't eat this thing, I am trying to fight diabetes. Yes, for that period where you are fighting diabetes, but if you don't work hard on growing lean muscles, I'm stressing this area because this is key to this presentation. If you don't grow more lean muscles, you see that even without taking anything sugary, the diabetes will still be wounding and destroying major organs, affecting critical functions. You will still be feeling weak, you will still be feeling tired, you will not be able to overcome the issue of diabetes or blood sugar by avoiding glucose. Stop for some time, but use this opportunity of lifestyle modification to grow lean muscles. We are going to dwell on that, on how you can grow lean muscle, how you can transition from this lifestyle, or from where you have found yourself now, to a healthier lifestyle. What you need to do, that's the area we are going to actually focus on today. So if you have abnormal cholesterol, when you do your lipid profile, from what I already explained about the liver, having a hard time, removing or helping you to put this excess sugar in place, it will convert the sugar to fat cells to lipids. And when you're having the bad cholesterol, according to the one we call the low density lipoprotein, you will be having a lot of challenges. High blood pressure will set in, heart diseases, kidney failure, sudden blindness, because the lipid profile will show that the bad cholesterol that will form plaques, that will block blood flow to vital organs or even to extremities, they have started forming. And when the blood flow, it can cause hypertension, it can cause heart failure, it can cause coma. When it is to the brain, it can cause stroke, it can cause so many things. So if you understand this issue very well, you will see that you are free from so many of these degenerative diseases that is the epidemic of our generation. See the risk factors to them when they have already happened: smoking, living sedentary lifestyle, obesity, eating fast food, hypertension. We all know all these things very well. So what are the common symptoms? Like I said from the beginning, don't allow these symptoms to set in before you take action. But if they have already set in, just know that this presentation is so important to you, more important than even whatever you are doing right now, whatever work, whatever business, you have to handle it. Like you're already having blood vision, you feel hungry all the time, you're already feeling thirsty, despite you drinking enough water. I know a lot of people recommend like maybe 7 to 8 glasses of water every day, but you see yourself always drinking more than that, yet you still feel thirsty, you urinate very frequently. Some people, I remember when we were in the university, some people will urinate and put aside and see whether ants will come and gather the urine, and then they will say, oh, it means the urine has sugar. But at least we have more advanced way of knowing that now. I will mention it over time. You can easily just buy your kit in any pharmacy shop and do the test through your finger. It's very, very easy, and you can know the result. Even lipid profile and the rest, now most of the labs around can do them very easily. Also, not some people don't even want to lose weight. They say I'm fat and fabulous, or my husband likes me like that, or my wife likes me like that, or it's evidence of good living. Oh, my parents were very, very big and they died at the age of 90 something. Remember, your parents did not have petroleum byproduct being inhaled. They didn't have all these carbon monoxide. They didn't have all these challenges of pollutants everywhere, spraying of gas, or eating from plastics, or chlorine or fluoride in their drinking water or in their toothpaste. Can go on and on, especially for the way we have seen them preserving food these days. Even when you want to eat your best, you say, I want fresh fish. That is the same river that they are depositing all the petroleum byproducts. So the fish is actually taking them. So you cannot run away from toxic load that we have in our generation and think that, oh, even if they were fat, you can manage it these days. No, you cannot. Because every fat-soluble pollutant you have, toxins that you have, the liver will secrete fat cells called fat lobules, so try to cover them up, and you are getting bigger and bigger because, like I mentioned before, energy production is not taking place in those fat cells. You are getting weaker and weaker, so it is not advisable. When you have lean muscles, when you have more muscles that you are developing, you have more surface areas of ATP production, of energy production. So your daily resting energy expenditure is getting heavier and heavier and better and better and better, and it affects your longevity, it affects your head span, it affects your ability to live life on your terms. So try and work on losing weight. Also, if you have numbness in your hands, if you have poor wound healing, like you have ulcers that refuse to heal for a very long time, or you feel weak, feel tired, you feel lethargic, you just wake up from sleep when you're supposed to have rested, but you just don't feel like doing anything, you just feel lethargic, or you can't even wake up well. You wake up, you can't get up easily. Just know that these are signs and symptoms of, elevated blood sugar or diabetes. Numbness, tingling in the hands. Some people will say, oh, the sickness is moving. It's moving from my hand to my shoulder, moving from here to here. It's not sickness that is moving. It's just the tingling sensation that you feel maybe from, extremities, or feeling nausea or vomiting when you are really not pregnant, or you've done all these test for all these worms and the rest. You don't have that challenge, but you find it difficult to eat food and let it stay in your stomach without feeling nauseated, or sometimes you just don't feel yourself, you just don't feel okay. Sometimes you're looking at the light, you see rings of colors, like rainbow, different colors cycling the light. Just know that the problem has actually started. That's why we want to avoid them. So how do you manage diabetes no matter the type? I already mentioned that type 1 is just the injection of insulin, but it will help you more if you also exercise to grow more lean muscle, so you are not affected by the energy depletion as you grow older, which is the normal sarcopenia and all the rest that would have happened, but still follow the lifestyle modification. But more importantly, the other ones I've just mentioned, like the type 2, the pre-diabetes, the hyperinsulinemia, and all the rest, it starts from management. It is called lifestyle modifications. We want to know, what are those lifestyle modifications? How do you transition? You don't just start today because you've heard this work now, then you now go and just doing exercises, go and start eating healthy. No, it's like somebody who has a car that is faulty. You won't just say, oh, let me put good oil now, let me put this. No, you first have to transition. You have to work on yourself to transition into healthier lifestyle And these points are the ones we are going to discuss. You can diagnose. It's better to do all the tests. Take history, physical examination. We have the one we call fasting blood sugar. You can, when you do the fasting blood sugar I mentioned before, it has ranges that you should take note of to know if you have diabetes. If you do the fasting blood sugar and maybe it is, like less than 5.5, then you are healthy. You may not need to bother about, further tests, maybe if there are other signs and symptoms I mentioned, you cannot go and do, for example, if you are urinating too frequently, maybe in the night, you normally go more than 3 times to go and urinate. If it's a man, you can go and do prostate, scan and test and all the rest. But fasting blood sugar is actually very simple and easy to do. Then we also have the SEU, creatinine, but cut down the fasting lipid, or the creatinine test to show if the kidney is actually functioning well. Then we have the FFP. I know I've called this FFP, but the FFP here is fasting lipid panel to show whether your lipid profile is normal. I mentioned it before, why you need to show if lipid profile is normal, because elevated insulin can affect your lipid profile. So you have specific tests. If you are not sure of what is happening to the body, you can do all these tests. So how do you manage them? Once you have done the test, you have done maybe the lipid profile, you have done the creatinine, or you have done the fasting blood sugar, and you know that there's a challenge, whether it's pre-diabetes, whether it's hyperinsulinemia, whether it's the person is having type 2 diabetes already, that is already elevated. What do you do? First, you have to buy that set, like I mentioned, to monitor the blood sugar while you are doing all this lifestyle modification. That is to transition to the healthier body that you want. Don't just go into it. You buy the kit to do the test, but if you don't, know that maybe when you have the money from time to time, you will be going for the test. The next thing to do, lifestyle modification. There are about 5. I'm going to discuss them. Lifestyle modifications that will help you transition into the healthier body that you really need, to grow lean muscles that will help you, burn off more insulin. And what do you do to keep it up, to keep burning them up until your body is able to produce enough quality insulin, and it's also having enough of the metal. I'm going to discuss all of them that will help insulin. Insulin is always able to transport glucose into the cells when the particular mineral, coenzyme mineral, is present. So we also, that's where the organic natural food supplement from a processed source is very, very important. It's very, very important that you get this, because if that mineral is not present, even if you have all the insulin in the whole world, glucose or simple sugar will not get into the cells. You need this mineral as a coenzyme, and it has to be ready in its absorbable form to help transport glucose into the cell for metabolism. And also mention, you can use medications. I think the most popular in Nigeria is metformin. I think it comes in the name glucophage also. But if you go to the internet, just Google it, metformin or glucophage, the side effects are many. So many, you won't even wish it for your enemy. There are so many. There are more than 20 side effects. Or even the nausea you are trying to run away from. See metallic things in your mouth as if your mouth is not your own. Headache from time to time. A lot of gas in the stomach, bloating coming in, feeling dizzy from time to time. You wake up from sleep, you still don't feel yourself, because the medications do not actually help you grow lean muscles. They don't help you to burn off the glucose, but they help you remove glucose from the blood, of course, at least, so that it will not damage major organs we are talking about. So it's actually helping to remove glucose from the blood, but it's not helping you to burn them off, to give you energy. So you still feel weak, you still feel tired, the vital organs are still degenerating. That is why, even if you are taking the medication, we encourage you to still use the lifestyle modification, especially supplements from a trusted source that will help transport insulin into, that will help transport glucose, that will support insulin, that will assist insulin to transport glucose into the cells for metabolism to take place, so that your normal resting energy expenditure will be the heaviest, and then you have enough lean muscle as you grow them, grow them, grow them, grow them. You will have enough lean muscles to burn them off. And of course, we all know that prayers and meditation, even science has revealed it now, though they call their own yoga and all those kind of things, has revealed that when you actually meditating, there are hormones called positive hormones, endorphins, and that gets pumped into your blood that helps the body to heal itself. So meditation is very important. Then being active. These are part of the lifestyle modifications we are going to be talking about. But before we talk about this, I want you to face the reality. I've mentioned them in passing, but I want you to know that these complications are not avoidable if you don't take action right now. They just happen suddenly, and then the person can no longer go back. Diabetic foot, diabetic retinopathy, kidney failure, you have organ damage, brain damage, heart failure, all of them, stroke, all nerve. I already mentioned those ones, peripheral neuropathy. We hired one professor that came to talk to us about that, atherosclerosis, where the plaques are blocking blood flow to vital organs, certain areas of the body, sudden blindness, sudden kidney failure, sudden organ failure in any part of the body is usually due to diabetes. Most time or diagnosed, because when you ask the person, have you ever had diabetes? You say, no, I've never had diabetes. But this organ failed because the person actually had diabetes, but he did not know. So lifestyle modifications, advice, like I said, ours is to advise you. Like that man in the Bible, they asked him, this is a banquet for people with white garment that has been given to them, not white garment like we see in the church, but the one God has given to everybody. You are in this banquet, you are in this marriage festival, you are not wearing wedding clothes. Why are you not wearing wedding clothes? The Bible said the man was mute. Think of it. Why was the man mute? Because it is your duty to seek knowledge, to seek information. Seek and you will find. And the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. It is not for the children of God to be sick, but many people are ignorant. They are avoiding to even hear it because they don't want to even get involved in the real lifestyle modification that will make them healthy. They think it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of this, it's a waste of... But the reality is that these are the things you actually need. Prevention is not only better and healthier and cheaper than cure, it is actually God sent. It is the way God wants us to live. God created so many things in our body to be able to help our body to remain, to be strong throughout life. But we abuse the same body. I also want us to take note. Remember, food was the cause of man's downfall in the Garden of Eden. So be careful the kind of food you eat. There are the healthy ones you should eat. There are the ones that are not healthy that you should not eat. Think of it. If mosquito bites you, you see that spot swollen. Let's assume mosquito or ants that causes this thing is biting all over the body. The whole place is getting swollen, having small spot. Do you know why that place is swollen? It's because the mosquito injected a foreign body, what you call toxins, into your skin, into your body, and your body is trying to fight back. It's causing inflammation. The same thing when you eat toxins, when you eat toxic things that the body doesn't want, it causes internal inflammation. Internal inflammation leads to degenerative diseases, and all the lifestyle diseases we have been talking about as the epidemic of our generation, stroke, heart diseases, prostate disease, that all of them are all chronic degenerative diseases because there is internal inflammation that are not being handled. So eating healthy will not start from you just starting it today. It will start from you detoxifying, removing the toxic load that is already there, that's already causing internal inflammation. It's already making the insulin not to be able to transport glucose into the cells for metabolism. So the person is having insulin sensitivity. If it is already happening, you start eating healthy, agreed, but with transition by using a program, natural organic food. Don't starve the body. Autophagy doesn't mean you should starve the body. No, autophagy means you are giving the digestive system opportunity to rest. to relax and rejuvenate, and then the cells of the body or the dead cells that the body doesn't want are eaten off naturally. It's a process God put in our body, which we should do from time to time. They call it autophagy. It's fasting to make sure that the body rejuvenates from inside out. But that period, you will see, if you don't give nourishment to vital organs like the brain, the heart, all those ones that are in autonomic system that you don't have control over, you will have challenges. That's why this company has produced a pack that you can use to nourish those vital organs while you are going through autophagy, while you are transitioning to a healthier lifestyle. So you can detoxify what the body doesn't need, and then nourish the body with body healing tools, what the body needs. And amazingly, you are able to give amino acid, which are the building blocks of protein that will create lean muscle for the body, to have more muscle, to reduce the sarcopenia, that's the loss of muscle cells. You are not losing muscle cells, but you are gaining muscle cells. So we have that pack, which is also in their, the food nutrients are already available in the absorbable form. So the digestive system is not actually doing anything, but we just take them, the cells or different organs of the body will use the valuable body healing tools to heal the body from inside out. And then we have our pack inside, in fact, one of our signature product we call aloe vera gel, that will help the body to naturally detoxify what the body doesn't need. The ones that are fat soluble, you will saponify them. The ones that are water soluble, as you drink water throughout the 9 days program, your body will sweat or you urinate, you will eliminate them from the system. Once you have removed all disease-causing elements from the system, and you have nourished the body with body healing food, nourishment to build lean muscles, to help all the different organs that have been damaged or that are already going through internal inflammation, you are able to give them this nourishment, the body will naturally heal itself. We were created to be able to heal itself. That's why if you cut your hand just a little bit, you know that, clean it very well, put methylated spray and the rest, the hand will heal back. The body was created to be able to heal itself. Just give it what it needs to heal itself. Keep it away from more stress or more damages, and it will heal itself. Let's cooperate with God. Let's thank God for what He has given us. And what we have done is to make this food available in their absorbable form. They are freeze-dried, or the ones that are liquid, going through cold stabilization process, so that all the active ingredients are still, preserved. They are still potent. They are able to do what they are supposed to do, because the food that you may not have in Africa, we can get them from the other side of the world where they have them. The food you will not have in this side of the world, in North America or in Asia countries, they can get them from Africa. But the world has become a global village. You don't need to lack, and you don't need to suffer any of these diseases. Just get them and help yourself become well again. It has become the like call it trendy, in spite of the antagonism from drug industry. And I mean, pharmacists are agreed, but you need to know the truth of how you can help your body for emergency cases, for that, even with diabetes. As you are taking the drug, you can transition now to a healthier lifestyle and get your body back and get your wellness back and get your head back. It's your right. Check your blood glucose, like I said, is very, very important. So lifestyle modification, become active, take your body healing food, take your supplements, take the lifestyle modification. I'm going to mention the supplements when I finish from this place. Avoid excessive weight gain. That pack will also help you jumpstart your weight gain. You see that when you now start to lose weight, it will become easy because you have removed disease-causing element. What was blocking your weight loss, what was making it not sustainable? Because some people will stop when they even fast or they are doing calorie deficit. When they stop, they get the weight back with excess, and they are wondering why it is happening. If you just follow the steps for 9 days, and then from that time start losing as much as you want to lose, you will see you will get your body back the way God has designed it to be. Because if God created the heart like this and the body frame like this, so that the heart is to pump blood to extremities, but now the body is so big, this is small heart, we still have to pump blood to extremities, is having a hard time doing that job. Not talk of when from hyperlipidemia I just mentioned, some of the blood vessels are also blocked. We need to do something about it. Check the blood glucose follow medical advice, and of course, like I said, most importantly, transition with this set of products, supplements to prevent and manage diabetes. You can screenshot this and reach out to the person that invited you to this presentation and see how you can get this. It will take a minimum of 3 months. It's not a sprint that, oh, let me just take them once. No, usually 3 months. Though you will start getting improved signs and symptoms within a week or two and all the rest. We encourage you to do this for 3 months. But if you are just on pre-diabetes and you just do the C9, yes, within a month, you are back to normal. But for people that already have the diabetes or have challenges with any of their organs, you will definitely need to do it for a minimum of 3 months. That is just the truth. These are basic, but depending on health challenge that the person has in addition to diabetes, we can also tell you what pack and what to add. But these products are basic. But remember, I said you have to, or it's very important that you start with C9. Some of the products here, like the Garcinia and aloe vera gel, they're already in the C9 pack. So aloe vera gel, why do we need it? Like I mentioned, body beauty blocks are very, very important. I want to start from there. Anti-inflammatory properties, I already mentioned the internal inflammation that is happening. I gave example like when mosquito bites you outside, the same thing when you eat it inside, it's causing a lot of inflammation. In fact, some people know of leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut syndrome is very popular in North America because when some people eat, sometimes they don't go to toilet every day. In the large intestine, your body can take up those toxins again and it can start causing problem inside the body. But you need to, stop the internal inflammation. You need to help clean up the digestive tract so that there's no reuptake of toxins. You will need daily dose of vitamins to help the body rejuvenate from inside out. You need the daily dose of minerals. You need collagen and elastin repair. This elastin repair will help connective tissue, and you will see yourself looking younger, looking fresher, rejuvenating from inside out. You need to regulate and manage your energy, regulate your weight, like I said, manage it and manage your energy level. And this is what aloe vera gel does for you. One hand is so important. If for nothing at all, make sure you don't joke with this amazing product. We call it our signature product. In fact, all over the world, we are known as the aloe vera company because it's making waves. As I'm talking to you, we're in more than 140 countries of the world. In the leading countries of the world, Japan is our #1 country in the world, followed by, I think, Germany and all. You see that Germany, Asia countries and all the rest, US, North America here, Canada, everybody, their #1 product that they don't joke with is aloe vera gel. I once went to Japan and the jerry can they are using to drink aloe vera gel is 2 liters. I think it was 2 liters we saw that time. Or 5 liters. Oh, my husband just reminded me it was 5 liters. Very big, their own aloe vera gel. But here we're looking for how to bring it down for so that people can afford it. But better soup, Monica, is very, very important. I was asking somebody, if you bring something cheap that will cause harm to you, and bring something not so cheap, not so palatable, but it's going to heal you from inside out, which one will you choose? If you choose the other one that's going to harm you, don't blame anybody. Don't blame God when you have to say it's not my portion and all the rest. You have made a decision by action. Action speaks louder than voice. So it will help you with your dental health, with your hygiene, with your skin, with rejuvenation from inside out, even with your digestion. It is known to help the body. It has enzyme called proteolytic enzyme that digest dead cells, and we have this pack aloe vera on its own. You can just Google and do all the research to find out that it has been known. In fact, aloe vera gel is known now as the most researched vegetable all over the world. Because a lot of people are wondering, why is it able to do what it is doing? It is not only vegetable in the world, but it is amazing. It's doing so many great things. So it helps the body to digest dead cells, contain proteolytic enzyme that digest these dead cells, and it contains enzyme that stimulates the growth of new healthy cells. That is where the rejuvenation of the pancreas actually takes place. For those people that are producing less insulin because the pancreas is not working well. Well, if the pancreas is even working well and is producing enough insulin, you have hyperinsulinemia that you want to bring down. That is where aloe vera gel comes in because it's adaptogenic. It adapts to your body the way your body needs it. If it needs to help you detoxify and just remove Those dead cells, it will do that. If you need to regenerate the pancreatic cells, need to regenerate any tissue anywhere, whether in the brain or in the heart or any organ, it will help you do that. It will help you energize. It contains amino acid to help you grow more lean muscles. Also, we have our product called Feast of Green. This is where I want to slow down for you to understand what I was talking about, that there's a coenzyme called chromium picolate. Chromium picolate. Very, very important. This is the coenzyme, this is the mineral that insulin needs to be able to transport glucose into the cell for metabolism. It is present in our Garcinia, it is present in our Forever Lean, it is present in our Super Greens and Feast of Green. I put this Feast of Green here because this one is easy and cheap enough for everyone, everybody. You don't even need to have diabetes, because some of us don't eat enough service of our fruits and vegetables every day. Even if you are not afraid of diabetes, this Feast of Green is a necessity, not a luxury to everyone. Just take it with every meal you are eating, because it will now help you to transport the energy-giving food. Instead of saying, I don't want to eat anything sweet, you take it with your Feast of Green and you're good to go. Like I mentioned before, our Garcinia Plus also contains, that's why it's called Garcinia Plus. It's Garcinia Plus chromium picolate. This chromium picolate will help you transport glucose into the cells for metabolism. And the Garcinia Plus, we all know, is the plant, is vegetable that helps you to remove all the energy giving food that you are eating from the blood, so that it doesn't go there to start forming fat for you. So it temporarily inhibits the fat production and fat storage, so you can easily manage your weight if you want to lose weight and your BMI is already more than that 25, which is supposed to be the healthy one. Also, nature meat, very important to me. This is one of the amazing products that every human being needs, not only because it contains all the minerals that the body needs to be able to, you know, heal itself from inside out. Nature meat contains chromium picolate in the maximum rate that you need it, so you're able to transform insulin into the blood cells for metabolism. It also contains a lot of these food, very, very important mineral magnesium that will help muscle cells to grow, so that you are able to grow more muscles. Because I'm going to talk about briefly as we round up that there are certain exercises. It's not just to stroll this time. There are certain exercises that help you to grow lean muscles. There are certain exercises that help the heart. So exercise for the heart, exercise to grow lean muscles, exercise to energize or activate all the cells of the body. There are 3 different sets of exercises, but you will need nature meat, because if you don't take nature meat and you are doing the exercises, you will see that lactic acid, as they get pumped to the blood, because metabolism is not taking place completely. You can be having muscle pull, you can be having body pain, you can be having different reactions that will make you be discouraged from doing the exercises. So I recommend that you take nature meat, so that you don't have all those signs and symptoms that will discourage you from doing exercise. It contains magnesium. I already mentioned that. It contains magnesium, which is an important cofactor in more than 300 enzyme systems in the body. So every critical function in the body that determines health, vitality, rejuvenation, health and all, they are in this nature meat, because of the importance and quantity of magnesium that you have in nature meat. You know, because these enzyme systems that regulate diverse biochemical reactions in the body, that helps you with protein synthesis. Remember, I told you how important it is that we produce protein. They are helping you to produce muscle and helping to help the nerve to function normally, so that all those challenges you have with the nerves that are supposed to be the effect from diabetes can no longer happen. It helps with glucose control and blood pressure regulation, which is supposed to be a challenge with people that have, you know, high glucose or have diabetes. So this nature meat is very, very important. It's important for bone health, muscle function, nerve transmission, muscle building. I told you before, even for transporting oxygen, because you need iron. As you are breathing more, you need a lot of iron. So nature meat is very important. You take it with your meal, and then I always recommend Lycium, especially for those who have had the pre-diabetes or they already have diabetes manifesting. You will need Lycium to help restore vital organs like the kidneys and all that. It is very, very important that you improve the vision, the kidney function, the liver function that are already having challenges. This is to help at that state for people who already have the pre-diabetes for a long time, or they're above the age of 40, or they have already developed diabetes. Then Forever Lean, this one is for everybody. You don't want to develop diabetes at all. You need Forever Lean with every meal you eat. I personally usually open the lean and just pour in my food because it tastes very good. It contains the chromium picolate I talked about, and it also contains fiber. You can never overemphasize the importance of soluble fiber in our meal. Everybody should use Forever Meal with. It's when you are eating, you take it just before meal or inside the food you are eating. It will not prevent the absorption of the calories from fat and carbohydrates, so that at that time you are transitioning, you are not getting elevated blood sugar. So you will not be saying, oh, I don't want to. Or some of us who even have normal metabolism, we don't have diabetes, be taking lean with every meal you eat, with every ice cream you take, with every meal, any of all those things, junk food that you are eating, Isewo and all the rest, make sure you are taking Forever Lean to prevent you from developing diabetes. You can see it's made from natural food supplements, white kidney beans, Indian fig extract. I already mentioned those ones to us before. So you can see this cleaner I talked about for your weight loss, improved digestion, increased energy. I mentioned why, I discussed it, the science behind it, why it's able to increase energy through the muscle building activities and the active ingredients that are doing this for you. Enhance mental clarity. Once you do Sina, a lot of people will tell you I have glowing skin, I can see more, I wake up better, you can even think better, you can make more money, you can make your life worth living, supports your immune system, reduces inflammation, you become beauty friendly, people are commending you, you're able to adapt to a healthier lifestyle, you're able to transition to a healthier lifestyle so easily, streamlessly, and people are commending you. And once they're commending you, you just tell them what you are doing. So you can team up with us to be able to share this valuable information, make people healthier, make people wealthier, be a wellness influencer. You also influence people to do good. Don't say I can't talk. People that can't talk, you see them, they are still gossiping and doing so many other things. But you influence people to take the right step, and we are like, we will not leave you like that. We can also pay you for that. In summary, I want you to understand diabetes is a very costly condition in Nigeria right now. Don't try to get into it. The awareness of the risk factors and preventive steps that we have discussed today, they are worth sharing. Tomorrow is World Diabetes Day. Please don't keep quiet. I will not be quiet. You should not be quiet. Let us reach out and be strong together, be healthy together, be happy together. Let us imbibe all this lifestyle, modifications, because we are daring to what? Dream big. Daring to get the right information, daring to reach out, so that these 5 lifestyle modifications we talked about, they are key to preventing, managing, and reversing most of the diabetes, except type 1 diabetes. So this information is to help save lives and help save others. I want to say it has been a very great evening. Remember to take control of your life. Don't let diabetes control you. As Meta will always say, one of the greatest illness in the world now is an empty wallet. If you want to decrease the number of people that are sick, give them opportunity to earn an honest living. Next Wednesday, we'll be sharing the financial masterclass information of how you can partner with us, share this good information, and then we can also pay you, and we can also make life also good for you. Thank you so much. If you have questions, you can now ask. Thank you. Do I have questions in the house?